Are you in marriage, relationships, drug abuse, parenting? This is the show where we talk about issues affecting our society. A platform where the young, old, men, women, singles and married get advice from professionals. So join me, Davina Anyanga, every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. for life-changing discussions here at Riverside TV. See you then. Hello, good evening and welcome back to another episode of the Riverside Council with me, your host, Davina Anyanga. Today I'm joined by a very amazing guest and you're going to be talking about adolescent health. I know this is it's been a topic from way back in school. We were taught about this adolescent stage, but now we want to understand how do we cope with it as parents. How are we supposed to handle these adolescent kids? As the adolescent kids, how are they supposed to handle themselves in this current society? So thank you for joining me. Remember our social media handles, Facebook and Instagram at Riverside TV KE. Watch us at YouTube at Riverside TV Kenya. And you can send your questions, whatever comments you have, via the number passing through your screen. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Please tell us your name.
Okay, I'm Jemima Njagi, a CO pediatric by profession. So I work with children as from the age of 0 years to 18, which is adolescence. So 0 year is from the newborn, since the baby is born, until when they are adolescents. So those are the children that we deal with.
Okay, so that means you can nurture a child from when they are born until
Yes,
they get adolescent. Wow, may God bless you.
Thank you.
So we are talking about adolescent health. So what could we say is adolescent health?
Okay, adolescent health is whereby now we want to nurture these people. Now it is when their body is growing, so we really need to talk to them about the changes, because we are going to see that when it comes to adolescents, now they are it is from one place to the other when from now childhood to adolescence. So when we are transiting to that, we have got body changes, so we need to talk to them about these changes. Also, their health is very important. It involves a lot of things, mentally, physically, so everywhere we need to talk to them.
Okay.
Yes.
So could you tell us the characteristics of adolescence? So at least we know that as a parent, I know at what age, maybe at this particular time, I'm starting to see maybe my child is growing physically, maybe this and these are the changes. So what are the characteristics of this?
To start with, when it comes to the girls, I'll start with the girls. The girls, the adolescence comes earlier, nowadays from 14 years to 18 years. To boys, 15 years to even 20 years. So for girls, the changes that we are going to find is we start developing breasts. Is breast enlargement. So when you see your kid, she was in primary school and now she starts, the breast starts to grow. So now this is one of the changes, their body changes. And another thing when it comes to these girls, they start shying off. They don't want to speak up. So definitely. Others get even pimples everywhere. So you still try to understand them. Now they are transiting into adolescent stage. When it comes to boys, they broaden their shoulders. Then they have the voice becomes deep. They start having deep voice. So these are some of the characteristics also. And also they grow shy. They are also very shy. So they will not speak up like they used to, because they feel that they are in a stage whereby now they feel that they have matured up, so they don't want to listen to their parents. Now, there it is when you find in most homes, there is a lot of fights with their parents. Yes, so it is good to just talk to them before the worst happens.
Since for the boys, it's not that much of physical, changes, right?
Yes.
So could we say that it's easier to realize when a girl is getting to adolescent stage than boys? Because
yes, to girls it is just so obvious. And another thing we didn't say about the girls, they start having their menstrual periods.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the cycle starts now. Now it's new thing to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we find them getting shy. So if you don't bring them closer to you, they'll tend to ask, to wonder about what is happening, and maybe they'll ask to these questions other people, yet not you as the parent, and we encourage the parents to talk to them.
Okay.
Yes.
In our school, I'd say the curriculum, or rather the syllabus,
Yes.
this education, I'd say this adolescent education, is usually in class 6. And you'd find that maybe my girl maybe is in class 4 or class 5, and they're already having this menstrual cycle.
Yes.
So they've not yet been taught about that they're going to experience this. So would you prefer that we have this adolescent education earlier? Like maybe there could be, I'd say, what do we say? Maybe programs or meetings, at least to help them understand, even before they could reach that particular class.
Yeah, it is very, very important. I would advise this to happen before, so that they have the knowledge. When this happens, it's not like strange to them. They should not fear, because others will fear. They don't want to mingle with their other people. So it is good to start talking to them earlier, and this should start from home. So the parents, I would advise, be close to your kid, especially if you are a mom. They'll listen to you. Tell them as it is, that there is menstrual cycle, it happens like this. You should be clean if you are a girl. Have things, these sanitary towels, all that. Tell them about boys. Advise them what there is. Don't try like hiding. If they go to school and they get again these programs, the better, but it should start from home, from the parents.
Okay. Sometimes maybe in primary schools, that's when we believe that tunaanza kukua with that stage of adolescence. But sometimes even in high school, form 4, that's when maybe someone else ndio anaanza experience. So does adolescent only happens to the teenagers, or could we find it even much later?
Much later, it is possible. You find some of them even experiencing when they are in form 3, form 4, others as early as in class 5. So again, it will also depend with the body. It is hormonal. So the hormones again will depend. Others will start early, which is still, there's no issue about that. Others will be late, still no problem with that.
Okay, so the hormones, as you've mentioned, are they affected maybe with our diet or our surrounding, or is it just something that is biological?
It is biological, but again, even what we eat, you find this kid was staying at home. She has finished class 8, for example. Now she gets posted to a school which is far away, where it's very cold. You see, even the weather. No, you may find it happening immediately she leaves home, because now the weather has changed. Even whatever they eat can also affect the diet.
So you've defined for us adolescent health, that like it's when we're supposed to talk to these kids about the changes they're experiencing on their bodies and what they are supposed to expect. So when we speak about health, I know like many a times it only comes like to our bodies, like maybe are you okay, your temperature, what have you. But for this adolescents, is it are we supposed to focus much maybe on their, I'd say, mental, because sometimes, as you said, both boys and girls, they grow shy. So are we supposed to focus on their mental and also on their emotional, because sometimes we don't understand them?
Yes, that is why we said when you talk of adolescents' health, it is all mental. We need to look at their mental health. Also the physical, we need to see the physical. Now it is now, for example, in girls, the enlargement of the breasts. So the physical, we should focus on all those. Psychological, we need to talk to them. They should get to know what is really happening. So all of them is important. Yes.
Okay. There are some factors that affect the adolescents during this stage. So what are some of the factors that affect them, maybe from their homes or even at school during this stage?
Okay. First, like we said, it should start home. So if they have got mood changes. So if you're a parent, it reaches a time you find that every time you're fighting with this kid, all of a sudden They don't want to be told anything. They are know-it-all when it comes to this stage. So you tell them to do this, then you see them doing it opposite of what they are being told. And sometimes it's because of what is happening to them. They don't even know. Other times, they don't even know what is happening. So you should encourage them. Don't no, we are fighting every time. Others even they are told to go away from home, and you see, we have got consequences when it comes to that. So parents, start it from where you are. Encourage them, keep them closer, talk to them about this. When they go to school also, I'm sure they are taught. So let it be a topper, so that we can balance everywhere. So some of the factors that will affect them is such things. You even find them not even in school, they're not even performing. So it will affect them even when it comes to their normal lives. You see? So yeah, that is it.
Okay. I understand that you've said as parents, like it begins from home.
Yes.
In the modern society, like in this current society, parents do not they don't give in that there's that space. Like, I'm supposed to understand you as my child. Come sit down here, explain to me what is happening. We just want to dictate their lives. So is it are we supposed to give them a listening ear? Ama itawapatia ile kiburi ya kuona they know it all?
No, it should be like you sit down with your kid, know what they want, know what you see. When you become close to them, they will open up. But if you're the type of a parent that every time munagombana like this, they'll draw away from you. So they'll want to know these things from someone else, and maybe they might know it the wrong way, you know.
Yeah.
So I encourage that sit this kid down, let them know, even the courses, those who have finished maybe Form 4, even the courses they want to know, they want to do, you should let them just discuss it there. Just discuss it. If a child tells you I want this course and you don't want it, maybe have reasons why you don't want this, because it will affect them later in life. So we find these adolescents in school, in campuses, in colleges, say, I do this course because it is my mom who, you know. So their mind is not there, and maybe they had something that they have got they are passionate about. No, you prevented it because this is what you dictated that they should do. So please, parents, avoid this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's this, the aspect of zile enzi that I wouldn't, like me as a parent, nitakukataza tu, you're not supposed to do this and that, but sikwambi the reason as to why you're not supposed to be staying close to boys and playing with boys if you're a girl.
Yes, tell them, like I said, it is. Tell them these boys, when tell them about their private parts. Nobody should touch their private parts. Tell them as it is. Tell them the consequences about pregnancies. Tell them about, if it's boys, about issues with drug intake, like taking drugs, the consequences. Tell them. Don't hide anything from them. I know it sometimes become difficult to a parent talking to their kid, telling them no, don't. Tell them it is even a sin to have having sex before marriage. It is a sin. So they should not involve themselves into those sexual practices early, because we have consequences of, like, for example, unwanted pregnancies, early pregnancies. We even have STIs, sexually transmitted diseases. We have got AIDS. Tell them what there is so that you will be helping them.
Okay.
Yes.
So as you have heard, like, if you're a parent of any adolescent child, just tell them black and white, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is what you're not supposed to do because of this and that, and we'll be helping our society. So we're going on a very short commercial break, and we'll be right back.
RTV sasa tumeanza kupiga picha za video kwenye harusi, mazishi na sherehe zinginezo. Utupigie simu moja kwa moja na utawapata professional cameramen and women, MC na video editors. RTV, inspiring and refreshing.
And thank you for staying tuned here at Riverside TV. Remember our social media handles, Facebook and Instagram at Riverside TV KE. Watch us at YouTube at Riverside TV Kenya. And your comments, your SMSs, your messages, just send them via the number on your screen. And thank you for staying with us. Remember, if you're joining us right now, we were talking about adolescent health. And we've mentioned a lot, we've been taught a lot by Daktari here. And you're still on to the topic. So, just to ask, about the sex education, about maybe the issue about the contraceptives, is it advised to talk to our adolescents about such things?
Yes, thank you. So it is very, very much in order, because we said we don't want to hide anything from them. So we know we have contraceptives, we tell them, but we don't tell them, like their parents who will apparently, like there are many contraceptives, like the one for 3 months, you find them doing it to their kids, preventing, so that they are preventing now the pregnancy. But one thing for sure, you're going to spoil. No, you've spoiled this kid. Like you've opened their ways for them, so that they can do these unnecessary things. What we are talking about is let them have knowledge. Don't go on proposing, telling them to use these contraceptives. It is too early. We still have side effects of these things, especially to young children. They have not gotten kids, and when you start using contraceptives so early, it will bring you issues in the end. You will be looking for kids, and there's one specific one I'll say here, the so-called P2, the postnatal. This is what young girls are using. Use it like Panadol every time. So we have got consequences to this. With the P2, it bounces at some point, and when it bounces, it gives us, the research shows that it gives us something we call ectopic pregnancies. Ectopic pregnancies, this pregnancy is it is an emergency. And what we do is we go to theater. It is an emergency. This fallopian tube is cut, so you're remaining with only one fallopian tube. You don't even know if it will be able to give you children in future. How about if something happens to the other, because there are only two? So this is a consequence of specifically the postnatal that these girls are using. So as parents, don't go on giving them, showing them, but give them the knowledge that they are there. But when you prevent the pregnancy, we have other consequences. Like, have you prevented HIV? The sexually transmitted diseases, the HIV is there and it is worse. So to them, it is only the pregnancy that they have the issue with, but they don't remember things like HIV. So parents, be very keen.
There's this mental health, like amongst our adolescents. Sometimes we don't know if they're going through, their moods changes, but sometimes it's not even about their moods. Some are depressed because they don't know, they don't have people to talk to. Not every adolescent maybe is in good terms with their parents, or not every parent is a responsible parent. So how do we promote this mental health amongst our adolescents?
How we promote the mental health is we can have those, we can organize even seminars, the seminars. When these youths are at home, you can organize within, if it is informed, like in churches. So first of all, encourage these adolescents to be going to church, because it is in those churches where these seminars are organized, they are taught, on top of what you taught them at home. So encourage such things like seminars, so that we promote this. Yeah, it's very important.
Okay. So we have a question here from Marilyn. She's asking, my daughter just began her periods, but it's been like 2 months. She hasn't seen the cycle until again this month. So is that an issue about hormonal imbalance?
Yeah, sometimes it happens. You see, when you say hormonal imbalance, you see when your body it's full of hormones. So you find this when now we are at adolescent stage. So it is all about issues with hormones. That's why they do things they do. They have mood elevation. It is because of hormones. So when maybe she changes even the weather or something, the climate, so you find that even the cycle may change also, because the hormonal, it is because of the hormonal imbalance. Can be affected by now things like weather, the diet, all these things will affect. So to her, let her relax and it's normal.
Okay, when you talk about maybe the weather, the diet, and all that, does hormonal imbalance only occur to young, maybe I'd say these young girls, or it can even occur to youths who are maybe above 20, above 18?
Yeah, it's not only in adults, because most people come to hospital, even the adults, the female, that their cycle is not, it's irregular, it is not balanced. So this is about hormonal now imbalances. And we assure them, yeah.
Okay, so question here, could Daktari please explain to us a bit about the cleanliness concerning girls during their cycle? Maybe you could just touch a bit on that.
Yeah, when now you're talking to your daughter, she's an adolescent, so tell them about cleanliness, it comes first. So provide enough sanitary towels. Okay. Yeah, tell them to be clean every time. So the towel should not, it will depend with you, the menses. Some are heavy, some are not heavy. So if it's heavy, you don't have to stay with one pad for so long. So it's not even healthy. It's somehow the dirt, it's not the best. And again, when you stay with it for so long, even you find some even have got bad odor, like bad smell. So just cleanliness is key. Just go bathe every time. As you bathe, after bathing, you change. Cleanliness is key.
Okay.
Yes.
So about, you've talked about the sanitary towels. Are there, like, how do they gauge to know these are quality? Maybe these are, there are so many types, but we are being told that maybe kuna zile zingine ambazo zinaleta infections. You don't know maybe the quality of this sanitary towel. So even though we are not, some opt to use, the clothes, just a piece of cloth and all that. So is it any different if I use a sanitary towel and if my girl uses this, just like a cloth, like a piece of cloth?
Yeah, there's a lot of difference, because one thing, if it's a piece of cloth, it doesn't hold that well. Again, I'm sure this kid is not, this girl is not even comfortable. With the sanitary pad, there's a way it absorbs this dirt. So you cannot compare, but sometimes you find some are using not because they want, because out of poverty they can't afford. The sanitary towels are expensive, so you find them using not because they want, but the most the recommended is now the sanitary towels, and there are so many different types. So just know your type, because others have got chemicals. We have got so many. So just use one type, because again you keep changing. You don't know which one is reacting to you. Yes. Okay.
So what is the importance of this adolescent health that we've been talking about? What's the importance of having it, to these our adolescent kids, and maybe to the parents who are having these adolescents?
It is important. It is very important, because we are going to see their consequences. The consequences
of not having it.
Yeah, of not having this the education now. This kid knows nothing about this. You're not telling them, but in school they hear other kids talking about it. So you don't want to talk to them, or you just how do I put it? You want to. You so authoritating, like don't do this. You're not telling them why. Why not? Now the kid will be like, why is mom telling me not to do this? She's not explaining more. So she'll want to know. Now the curiosity comes. So they go to practice and try that thing somewhere else in school. Others will join, because another thing that is making these adolescents even get lost on the way, most of them, is something we call peer influence. Peer influence. You find this kid went to school, like in campus, found another group, a gang of friends. So she wants to do as they're doing. She has not been mentioned anything about those things. Maybe they go for night outs, drink, they forget themselves, they involve themselves into sexual practices. So we are going to have consequences. So, and these consequences is why we want to have this sex education, or the adolescents' health, for the adolescents' health. So we know they will be very, very keen about getting pregnant. But in the end, we don't prevent ourselves from getting HIV. So they use that P2. P2 will not prevent the STIs. It will not prevent HIV. So, and you know, when you talk of HIV, people fear it because you're going to have the drugs. You take drugs for the rest of your life. So it's something that they should know. It's not all about pregnancy. Yes, we are saying we don't want to have early pregnancies, the unwanted. We call them unwanted because for sure they are not wanted. Yeah. It's not the time yet. So they engage themselves into these practices even earlier. So this is what you are trying to. That is why this is important, because we want to avoid all this. When it comes to male, about drug abuse, they start having, we call them IV drug users. They use drugs in school, the bangi, they use everything. Others, again, because of the peer influence, the friends they find there, so talk to them.
About drug abuse, you know, nowadays even girls are much more involved than, I'd say, than boys. So yule msichana akianza kuzitumia akiwa katika umri mdogo, will they maybe somehow affect them later, maybe reproductive?
Yes, it is a consequence to them, to a female. Yes, I know they are the majority nowadays. Go to clubbing, take that much alcohol. So this alcohol, when it gets to them, there's something we call drug addiction, and it's a serious thing nowadays. So this girl or this particular person got used to these drugs, so she gets addicted. She cannot go without these things. So what we get are things we call alcohol withdrawal syndrome. So she's trying to leave these drugs, she's not able to. So we hospitalize them because of that. It's a condition now called the alcohol withdrawal syndrome. So we start giving drugs, we want to get the alcohol out of the system. It's not easy. Some of them are even rehabilitated. We want to get them back to what they used to be because it has spoiled them mentally. It is inside the blood. Now they cannot do without them. And how they present with this alcohol syndrome is tremors. You give that person this book, they cannot hold. It's shaking everywhere. She's not able even to hold even 2 minutes like this. So such are the consequences.
Okay, so I hope you really learned a lot about that because it's really a great lesson. So just you can talk to our adolescents as we finish on this. Just say something, a word of advice to them.
Okay, so everybody is out there, and you are an adolescent with the ages, that's the bracket that we said there. So please listen to your parents. If they're talking to you, they are the best. You are very, very lucky to have such a parent because others don't get time, they are not even informed. If yours is, please listen to them because they are saying out of goodwill. They love you, that's why they don't want you to get engaged into these things. To parents, if you are able to sit your kid down, your adolescents, you've seen the changes that happen. Some even are not even aware of what is happening to them. So sit them down, talk to them. Don't be authoritative. Give them a listening ear. First of all, listen to them, what they want to say. So thank you so much.
Yeah. You can give us where can we get you, maybe your contacts, if you have a YouTube channel.
Yes, I have a YouTube channel by the name Jamie Naftali. My Facebook page also Jamie Naftali, Instagram Jamie Naftali, and my contact is 0725393268. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for honoring the invitation and talking to us. They say samaki mkunje angali mbichi. So it's not the responsibility of your parents as an adolescent to mold you. It's also your responsibility. So work on your life so that pale mbele usije ukaumia. Thank you so much for staying with us. Be blessed. Have a great night.